Today is a really good day, and I mean that because any day that I'm cooking rice pudding, it's a good day, of course. Now, I'm not only making rice pudding today, I'm making piña colada rice pudding. Delicious. Uh, some people think rice pudding is really difficult to make. On the contrary, you do it in one pot, doesn't take long, and it's really easy. The only issue is how you make the rice pudding. And the star of the rice pudding is the rice. So it's very important that you choose the right rice and you cook it the right way. And if you do those two things, no matter what you put in your rice pudding, it's going to come out great. And I'll discuss that later. So, what are the ingredients that you will need for today? And don't worry, I'll put a list at the end of the video as always. Now, today I'm using sweet condensed coconut milk. You can use sweet condensed milk and it will be great. But if you want to make it real good piña colada rice pudding, you need to use sweet condensed coconut milk because it adds a little extra power, a little extra taste. I'm also using dried pineapples because they add a little texture to the rice pudding, not only taste. And you want to find those little itty bitty sparks of flavor in your rice pudding. It's fantastic. I'm using lemon zest and a little bit of salt. Now you're going to say, wow, wait a minute. Are we making sweet rice pudding? Yes, but a little bit of bitterness and a little bit of saltiness really brings out the flavors in your rice pudding or anything you cook. Now, I grew up watching my father uh, put lots and lots of sugar in his espresso and used the salt shaker a couple of times. And I used to say, my God, how is that possible? Sugar and salt. And one day I decided, hey, let me try that. And I put sugar and salt in my espresso and I said, wow, what is this all about? Exactly. I like to add a little bit of additional sugar to the recipe, but instead of adding actual sugar, I use stevia. You can use Splenda, any artificial sweetener that you might like, or if you want to add actual sugar, about a cup. Now I have about 3 cups of water boiling, and to that, I'm going to add about a cup of rice. Now, as I mentioned to you before, the type of rice is very important, and I use pearl rice. Pearl rice, also known as Valencia rice, is a short grain rice. You might be familiar with the name because that's what most people use to make paella. Now, as far as cooking the rice, it's kind of a conundrum because you want the rice to absorb all the flavoring, but the minute you add something sweet to the rice, it's going to stop cooking. So you want the rice to be perfect at the time that you're going to start adding the ingredients. And you don't want to stop cooking the rice. You want to add the ingredients while it's still cooking so that the rice has a chance to start absorbing the flavoring while still warm. And I'm going to show you exactly at what point the rice is right. So you can start adding all your ingredients. And you may want to come back every once in a while and stir the rice a little bit. Again, not to make sure that it's not sticking to the bottom of the pot. Now, as you can see, almost all the water is gone, and I'm gonna check to see if the rice is ready, if it's soft enough. Now, I think it needs a little more time, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add about another cup of water, and I'm gonna let it come to boil again. I'm gonna make sure that the rice is not sticking to the bottom. Now I'm going to lower it back again to medium high and let it cook a little bit more. Now I just tasted the rice again, still not soft enough for me, so I'm going to add another cup of water. Bring it back to boil. Again, I'm stirring, making sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom. And you may ask why not add 5 cups of water to begin with. And that is because I'm not sure, depending on the temperature, depending on the oven, depending on the rice, if it's going to require exactly 5 cups or 3 cups. And I know from 50 years of experience that 3 cups of water might be enough sometimes. Okay, so it's back boiling again. So I'm going to reduce it one more time, medium high, and let it cook for a little bit. Now, I just tasted the rice and it's perfect. It's not very soft, it's not very hard. Almost all the water is gone, but I still have a little bit of water there so that it continues to cook when I add the ingredients. First, I'm going to add about a quarter cup of coarsely chopped dried pineapples. Then I'm going to add a pinch of lemon zest and a pinch of salt. The sweetened condensed coconut milk. Alrighty. Then I'm going to add two packages of sweetener, or like we said, 1 cup of sugar. And then we'll stir, making sure that the sugar doesn't stick to the bottom, because it will. Make sure that all the ingredients are mixed in and they start to melt. And then I want to bring the temperature back up again. I just want to see the mixture bubbling a little bit. Then I'll know that the temperature is up. And let me tell you, it is smelling delicious. Starting to smell like piña colada. And once you see that the mixture is bubbling again after mixing, we're going to cover it and turn it off and let it sit until it cools down. Now here is the end product. Has had a chance to cool down. All the flavors are melded. And let me tell you, it tastes fantastic. I'm going to serve it now to give you a serving suggestion. Now here's the suggestions on how to serve your delicious, creamy piña colada rice pudding. Enjoy.